What the hell is going on? Why is Andrew Tate showing up on my... Why is he showing up in my video? He ain't in my video. These people is fucking with shit.
Because we're going to temporarily raise that money, and we're going to
pay it over this is for this video. This nigga is not... He not in this video.
And,
look at this.
And they haven't moved on this yet. And we want to raise...
What is they on?
What they did in that court. And they got embarrassed.
They on some bullshit.
So, one thing that I noticed that victims of gang stalking all have in common, that the gang stalkers, the offenders, all have common goals. Their common goals are normally to make you look crazy or like you need psychiatric help or to make you look discredited amongst the public. That's why if you go to the police, depending on if the police force in the area that you are located is in on it or not, they will take the words that you are approaching them with and then twist them up in the report.
Facts.
Because what you tell the officer is not always what's going to end up in the report.
That's facts.
They want you to go into mental health facilities.
That's facts.
That way that you'll be deemed crazy or that you need medication.
So they can fuck you up. Which isn't going to
help the situation at all.
So they can fuck you up.
If anything, that would aid the situation for the offenders because now it's harder for you to keep track of things because you're drugged out. Not to mention that they're going to attack you mentally so that you won't have full control over your emotions. And they're also going to attack your character so that you will lose your spirit. This is literally the things that horror movies are made out of. I was researching reports earlier, and honestly, they all ended the same way, with people being homeless, losing everything that they worked for, or being discredited in whatever field that they chose to be in. And the fact that people group up to do things like this and exercise this as if it's a laughing matter or as if this is a joke, it's disgusting. The fact that people play with other people's lives like this as if it's a game. There's marriages that's been broken, people that have died and lost their life.
Moses.
In all honesty, I can't imagine that this is a common epidemic within America. And there was even a report that came straight from the military where a soldier actually ended up med-boarded because of it. So just maintain a level head and don't give in to any BS that people approach you with.
Facts.
Heighten your senses to what BS is and what's actually truthful.
Okay, people, I've never shared this before, so this is going to be something, a little different. This is going to dive more into the matter of what was going on between Moses and his wife before he contacted me in 2016. He contacted me in 2016 to come and help him because he was suffering very bad and he was going through a number of different things that is in this book that we turned into the United States Supreme Court. Now, in order to get a case before the United States Supreme Court, you have to make one of these books. And this is called a petition for writ of certiorari. And what this does is it outlines all the legal things that you have questions about. And it also state the facts of the case that was pending, in the lower court, which in this case will be the Sixth Circuit Court. Okay, so we're going to get right into this book. I don't want to over-explain everything because I don't want to turn people off that are not into law and stuff like that. I want to keep this as simple as possible, and I don't want nobody to click off of this. So I'm going to get right into it. Now, this is questions presented. This is the questions that you have to have. I'm not going to read this because normal, regular, everyday people is this going to bore them because it just is. Now, this is the table of contents. And again, if you want to screenshot this stuff, you can screenshot it and read it on your own. Okay, this is more table of contents. You can screenshot if you want to read it. Okay. Table of contents. I did all this work. All this goddamn work. Look at this. All that. I had to handwrite everything, and then I typed it up, and then I put it in book form. Look at all this shit. This was done in 2018. Actually, no, this was filed in 2019. Okay. I'm not going to start reading until we get to the statement of the case, because statement of the case is going to start to tell the story as to what happened with Moses and what he was going through. Okay. Okay, statement of the case. Here we go. The undisputed facts are based on citations to the record. The case arises out of a divorce proceeding filed on June 14, 2016 by petitioner's wife. The divorce was filed against petitioner when he did not submit to his wife's demands to sign pre-filled in dissolution papers. The petitioner refused to sign the dissolution docs because they were pre-filled in and contained unjust stipulations that would deny him 100% of marital assets and limit custody of his 3 daughters to see them on weekends only. The case was subsequently before both respondents, Kim A. Brown, administrative judge, and Brian K. Elliott, acting magistrate at the Franklin County Domestic Court in Columbus, Ohio. The divorce complaint contained false accusations of cruelty. They said Moses committed cruelty, adultery, and neglect of duty. We all know that was a lie. Those accusations were not facts before the court. The petitioner's wife had no witnesses, no affidavits from witnesses, or evidence to corroborate the allegations contained in her divorce complaint. Petitioner's wife admitted in court on the record that her allegations were not true during one of the court proceedings in respondent Brian K. Elliott's courtroom. Petitioner Moses McCormick was represented by 3 attorneys throughout the duration of the proceedings who were later found to be accessories to the scheme to embezzle at least $250,000 in marital assets that would be due to the petitioner. The evidence recovered by petitioners suggests that both respondents herein acts were in concert with the 3 attorneys who represented Moses and his wife and her attorney. The respondents committed acts that were not consistent with Title 5 U.S.C. 556D, and they were collectively involved with the other state individuals to force petitioner to settle out of court and divide his marital assets amongst one another once he signed the papers to settle out of court. The evidence suggests the respondents were paid a bribe out of a hidden trust account at petitioner's wife's lawyer's law firm, the law offices of William L. Geary, LPA in Columbus, Ohio. Suggestive by the evidence, the respondents were paid to delay the divorce case as long as they possibly could until the petitioner Moses McCormick would agree to the dissolution and out-of-court settlement. The divorce case was delayed purposely to get the petitioner financially drained and emotionally drained so he would just give up and settle out of court for $30,000 that they offered him. Petitioner Moses McCormick is an independent language instructor and was a full-time parent to his 3 daughters since the day they were born, and respondent Brian K. Elliott issued a court order that was not appealable due to it being classified as a temporary order, which stated that Moses McCormick must take his 3 daughters to daycare, which costs $634 per week, Respondent Kim A. Brown upheld the order and adopted its orders. The evidence suggests that this act was done to purposely compel Moses McCormick to start being liable for child support and daycare expenses. The said order deprived the petitioners Moses McCormick and his brother Mark McCormick, who resided with him at the time, life and liberty with the children. Petitioner Moses McCormick exercised his rights and immunity secured by the United States Constitution, and he represented himself in court waiving none of his rights. His brother Mark McCormick was a witness who testified before both respondents under oath. Petitioner Mark McCormick testified that Moses McCormick was unable to pay his own bills and the unconstitutional fines imposed upon him by the respondents. Such testimony was completely disregarded, and the petitioner Mark McCormick was deprived of about $4,000 that he himself paid out on behalf of his brother Moses McCormick. Moses McCormick was financially disabled at the time. Petitioner Moses' wife was earning $120,000 annually at the time, and all requests for temporary spousal support was denied to him completely by both respondents. Petitioner's wife violated the respondents' orders and removed petitioner Moses McCormick from all their credit accounts. Both respondents did nothing to reprimand her and allowed her to do this because she paid them via the trust account that was illegally concealed from petitioner Moses McCormick. Both respondents shielded any ability to have the temporary orders modified, and this deprived both defendants' rights secured by the United States Constitution. The petitioners filed a 42 U.S.C. 1983 action in the United States District Court for the Southern District of Ohio on July 10, 2017, against both respondents, Kim A. Brown in her individual capacity, and Brian K. Elliott in his official capacity. The petitioners have not seen the children for nearly 2 years to the date of this petition. The respondents' acts forced petitioner Moses McCormick to also file Chapter 7 bankruptcy in the United States Bankruptcy Court for the Southern District of Ohio, located in Columbus, Ohio. The petitioners sued other state officials in state court under statutes set forth by the Ohio Supreme Court. Suggestive by the evidence obtained by both petitioners, the alleged acts are conduct and customs that are adopted and regularly performed at the Franklin County Domestic Court in Columbus, Ohio. Both respondents allowed no remedy available to mitigate damages to both petitioners and their rights secured by the United States Constitution. No appeal was available and no motions to modify were granted, even though petitioner Mark McCormick paid off all fines both respondents imposed upon Moses. Moses McCormick knew the fines were unconstitutional, but he did not want to appear unreasonable, so they were paid in full, and still no remedy was available. The respondent, Brian K. Elliott, ordered Moses McCormick to take another parenting class for no reason. In fact, the guardian ad litem on the case advised the respondents under oath, "I see no problem at all with his parenting." Both respondents ignored that information and continued to stonewall the divorce proceedings to force petitioner Moses McCormick to accept the out-of-court settlement for $30,000. Respondent Brian K. Elliott allowed a motion for a psychological evaluation to be entertained in his court against petitioner Moses McCormick unconstitutionally. The said motion was not supported by any evidence, witness, or affidavits that would give it merit or make it a triable fact before the court. These were all tools used to further frustrate and harass Moses McCormick into an out-of-court settlement. Respondent Brian K. Elliott was advised by Moses McCormick that the motion was repugnant to his rights secured by the United States Constitution, and respondent said, "They are throwing the motion out, okay?" Respondent chose to throw it out because he knew the petitioners had foiled their scheme that was constructed by petitioner's wife and her counsel under the direction of who knows who. Respondent Kim A. Brown made violent threats on the record to petitioner Moses McCormick, advising him, "You know we can have that trigger pulled on you at any time, right?" These threats were harmful to both petitioners due to the fact that police officers that work for the Columbus Division of Police were calling petitioner Moses McCormick's cell phone at night, Detective William Wallace, advising him to stop being a bitch. Petitioner Moses McCormick also received $4,000 worth of vandalism to his motor vehicle. The evidence suggests those acts were requested by the law firm that his wife's attorney works for. The respondent did not deny any of these allegations set forth. They just asserted absolute immunity, which both petitioners knew they would assert. But the acts committed by the respondents were not judicial acts at all. They were criminal acts as classified under 18 U.S.C. 242 and 243. Respondents were committing acts under the guise of judicial acts and are liable to the supreme authorities to the United States Constitution. Petitioner Moses McCormick tried all remedies that are legally in place on the state level to get relief from the said acts. All were ferociously denied. Both petitioners have been burdened with undue delay after delay and denial after denial. And that's the end of the story. Okay? And the rest of this stuff is just saying what we did, like the procedural background. Respondents. Let's see. Procedural background. Petitioner Moses McCormick and Mark McCormick filed a complaint under 42 U.S.C. 1983 against respondent Kim A. Brown in her personal capacity and Brian K. Elliott in his official capacity on July 10, 2017 at the United States District Court for the Southern District of Ohio's Eastern Division. The said complaint was filed for violations of the United States Constitution, thus violating their sworn oath of office. The petitioners were not represented by an attorney in the lower district court and waived no rights secured by the United States Constitution. The petitioners invoked all rights on the docket of the lower district court and waived no rights. Petitioners set forth facts in their complaint that were not addressed or denied by any of the respondents or their counsel. The respondents submitted a 12B6 motion. The lower court granted the motion. When petitioners responded to the 12B6 motion submitted by the respondents, they requested leave of court to amend the complaint. That leave was requested at the very early stages of the case before the lower district court made any rulings whatsoever. The leave of court was denied and the lower court granted the respondent the 12B6 motion for closure of justice. The petitioners appealed to the United States Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit located in Cincinnati, Ohio on January 3, 2018. The respondents and their counsel filed an appearance on the record of the appeals court on April 9, 2018. The petitioners filed an emergency injunction on September 6, 2018. On September 18, 2018, the emergency injunction was unopposed by the respondents and was denied by the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. The lower court's opinion was also affirmed as well. The Court of Appeals cited Brookings v. Clunk, Sixth Circuit 2004, stating judicial immunity is not overcome by allegations of bad faith or malice. The appeals court also held any injunctive relief requested is barred because the McCormicks failed to allege that Brown and Elliott violated a declaratory decree or that a declaratory relief was unavailable. Okay. All right, that ends that. So he was allowed to be killed after all this? After all this, America the Beautiful? America the Beautiful, I'm talking to your ass right now. Answer me, goddammit. He was allowed to be murdered after going to the highest court in the land and telling, using a lawful approach? Huh? So would he have been better taking the matters in his own hands? Is that what y'all telling us we gotta do? We gotta start doing? We gotta start taking matters in our own hands, right? That's what we gotta start doing. Because motherfuckers don't want to do their job And motherfuckers wanted to try to say that I was a leech and I was the one who had to pay this man's bills. His court bills, his rent, his car payments, his car insurance, all that shit Mark was paying for. Okay? Because Mark was the one that was making $12,000 and $15,000 a month at the time. Before that, when he called me to come to his house to help him, I was well off. Okay? And he was suffering, and I dropped everything I was doing, and I went there and stood by his side for 4 years in 2020 until they sent that black bitch, that the bitch that's in jail now, Renee Botama Asamoah, which I doubt that that's even her real name. But yeah. So this is what America, the American people, they need to see this. This is what, especially my indigenous brown males, you need to take a look at this and take heed to this, because this could be your son, this could be your grandchild, this could be your brother, this could be, you know what I'm saying, this could be anybody. And to the black women, the brown women, I don't want to call them black, but brown women and white women. This could be your son, because it's a lot of biracial males that can pass as fully brown. And this is not about racism. I mean, it is to a degree, but I'm just outlining that, everybody that I just named can suffer, because this could be your son. This could be your son. This could be your son. White men, this could be your son too. You have a baby with a black woman, brown woman, I'm sorry. This could be your son. You go to all these courts and report all this, call the police, go to the state attorney general's office, go to the FBI, go to everywhere. You name it, we went. And look, this is on record, reported at the United States Supreme Court. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. Look at this. And they made it to where you can't go download it, because you used to be able to go to the USSupremeCourt.com, USSupremeCourt.gov, I think, the website, and you used to be able to download this booklet and read it. And people was downloading this shit and reading this shit, and they fucking took it off of there. So now y'all could screenshot all this, and y'all could have it, and know that there's an intrinsic problem in our country. There's an intrinsic problem with people who are behind the scenes, and we have to find out who these people are that's controlling all of this stuff, because it's not the jury, and it's not the judge. It's not the judge. It's not the jury. This stuff is coming from somebody else, like how they doing Andrew Tate right now. Okay? And they said his lockup in Romania was because they got a referral from the U.S. consulate to do that. So we need to find out who is these people in this U.S. that's targeting these people and having this done. Okay? My whole upset feeling is the fact that he was allowed to be killed after doing all this. It make me not want to be a part of this country anymore. And my bloodline is indigenous to this country, going back all the way back. We don't got no people from Africa in our family that is on our family tree that go all the way back to the way early 1804. So yeah, this is what it is. This is the truth, and I have to live with this every day while I look at what they did to his face and how they beat his face up, and how they had the girl just telling him what to say about me. Yeah, it was a lot of money behind this. Somebody paid a lot of money. Okay, so, even through this, we not losing the faith. Okay, we not losing the faith, because anything is possible. Anything is possible, especially when it comes to me. Anything is possible. So, We just hope that this can get to the right person and that they could understand all the work that was done and what we went through. And that's why I said I ain't playing with these people. Mm-mm. It's time for motherfuckers to start going to jail. It's time for the FBI and the U.S. Marshals to get up off their ass and do their job. That's what it's time for them to do, so they can show the American people that they stand on side of the Constitution. Because if not, they don't stand with the Constitution. You see what I mean? And if they're not standing with the Constitution, then they're standing with something else. Some type of allegiance to some other society other than the society that's made up by the people. So, here it is. This is it. And that's the end of that. All constitutional rights invoked, now waived. And we out of here.
So, part 2 about this karmic family that we're looking at. There is something, a collaboration that was taking place with this family against you. You were meant to be some form of a sacrifice for this family, because the card that has your representational energy is the only one upside down, because they were all in cahoots with each other. They were all collaborating, and they all felt like they're all going to get a piece of the pie. Looking at these numbers, it's a lot of 4s here, and 4s represents household and home. These people are very close to you. You might have lived with these people might have all lived together, like in a cluster or a community, but either way, there's a lot of collaboration here. And the only card that got the number 1 on it is the one with the innocent looking person on there, saying that this is the person that's really creative and imaginative and abundant. This is the abundance. But I feel like someone realized, or this group realized, that you carried a divine spark within you, or you were very, even if you don't believe in that, then you're watching the wrong thing, honestly. My point is, abundance flows to you like water. Prosperity flows to you. Good look flows to you. Most people got to fight for certain things, so you get it kind of easy in their perception. They don't know what you do because you make it look so easy. And so they was jealous. And they was like, well, it's my time to be on top. It's my time to have this or that. She doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve that. And they were saying this about your blessings. And I remember seeing this video, and this man was like, no, my blessings. How you go? He complaining about my blessings. They're mine, they're not yours. And you weren't even that kind of person. You share. You're the kind of person that likes other people to be happy. So you share. You share your blessings. You share your dreams. You share your hopes. You share your ideas. Stop sharing. You stop sharing. I do see where you stopped sharing. And this is why everything looks so desolate with them now. And they're being watched, or they have been being watched. Because what they were doing to you, when they was watching you, they have no creative spark. These people have no original ideas. They was watching you to follow you to see what you would do. And when you stopped and you got quiet and you stopped showing forth what you was going to do, everything started falling apart because they didn't have nothing to feed off because they were inauthentic. And with this little clock on this, they're running out of time. The bottom of the deck is saying impossible things. Now, it's number 34, which is...
Alright, this is driving me crazy. But I kept hearing, your sister did the most, so she gets it first. Your sister did the most, she gets it the worst. And I'm like, I don't have a sister, so give me more information. I feel like this is a message for somebody. And it just is constant. Your sister did the most, so she gets the worst. So I don't have a sister. So basically, there's a sister. And what I'm getting is this sister, maybe there were a bunch of people doing a lot of bad things to you. Maybe you were the black sheep, the scapegoat, whatever. And I think you were very kind to the sister. I think you were very loving, or maybe you gave them a lot of advice or something. But I I mean, what I got, and this took me all day to get the messages. This sister of yours, or, okay, thanks. This sister, or it could be somebody that was like a sister, or somebody that just said that they were your sister. I don't really know what that means. But anyway, this is somebody that you were disconnected from. You were close with, and there was a disconnection, and you know about some of the betrayal. But I don't think that you know that this sister literally annihilated and slandered you the most. They said things about you as a mother. They said things about you, or a father. They said they did like black magic on you. They possibly even frauded you for some. They took away like possibly somebody that was meant for you, like a soulmate. They attacked your children for some, spiritually. And I feel like because it was so much that, like, okay, Spirit's saying, like, because it was more of the spiritual manipulation, the black magic, that this person is just gonna go. Like, they're just gonna pass away. Because
tell you why you the one that they love to hate, and why they can't wait to see you fall. That's because secretly they attempted to assassinate your character. But because of your character, you became the character that they desperately so desired to be. See, we watch it on TV, but this plays out in reality. Fairweather friends, behind your back, they plotted against you. They conspired against you. They betrayed you. They set pitfalls up, and they privately watched you overcome them. You became the character in the movie that they all love. But it's not fantasy. It's reality. See, you living out their dream. You playing that position of the dream role. And they know it's true. This is not fictional. They not watching it on TV. They got to witness it with their own eyes. They know the demise that they playing. The traps, the betrayal, the deceit, the oppression that you overcame. And privately, they are impressed with you because you overcame that oppression. You overcame all of the backbiting, the backstabbing, the two-facedness. You overcame it all. And you became that person that they desire to be. This is why they hate you. You living out their fantasy. You became the legend, all because of what they did behind your back. They want to be you because they know what you walked through, what you overcame, what you withstood, what you endured. They couldn't walk a mile in your shoes. And I'm going to tell you why you the one that they love to hate.
Whoever you are, these people thought you was stupid, but you move in silence, okay? You knew all along about these different people. You saw right through these different people. So for some of y'all could just read the room. Y'all really pick up on y'all gut instincts. Y'all intuition is very strong. For some of y'all intuition was telling y'all, but you just really needed to get all of the facts first before you sat here and made a move. And now you are making a move. But with this being said, God is telling you to move differently because these people know you to be a certain way, and God is telling you not to move in that type of way anymore because that's not of you anymore. God is also telling you to handle your battles, pick your battles, because he is now fighting these battles that is out of your control, okay? Do not sit here. God don't want you to be stoop down to their level, okay? So therefore, he's handling it and he's clearing the way. These people did not understand how close of a connection that you had with God, how close of a connection that you had with your archangels, especially Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron. Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Raphael is very strong around you right now. They did not understand. For some of y'all, divine ascendant masters is heavy on y'all. Y'all are so protected. These people did not understand, okay? And now it's a whole spiritual warfare because you got a mission to do. You have a calling that's over your life, and these people tried to stop your calling, okay? These people tried to sit here and take what was rightfully yours, no matter what it is, no matter if it's a trust fund, no matter if it is, a job, no matter if it's a relationship, no matter whatever it is, take it how it resonates, okay? These people tried to sit here and pull one over on you, but the only thing that they did was pull one over themselves, okay? Because it's not going to work. God sat back and let these people just really think that what they was doing, they was going to get away with. And it's not going to work. That karma is coming back on them. You're leveling up, and what goes up must come down. So these people thought that they was up there and you was down here where they wanted you to be, but now the tables is about to get turned because things is turning inside of your favor. It's turning inside of your favor. You definitely had trust issues, or these people definitely had trust issues, and now you're releasing those things because now you're learning to trust yourself. You're learning to trust the divine and not listen to what it is that anybody is saying. You're learning to trust you. You're learning to trust you, okay? Somebody is definitely getting tarot readings to get clarity, to see clarity. Do whatever it is that you feel you're being called to do, because God is sending you the messages and sending you the right people inside of your life to get the clarity that it is that you need. Starting with this video, or this is one of the clarities that you need, okay? So truly trust in yourself because these people had you bent.
As you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.